Hey everybody, welcome to Noodling 101, the third in this lineup. I told you we'd be doing these about, I don't know, every other day, every other week, every other month, maybe once every 2 years. Just kind of depends on when I think I've got something that maybe you'd want to know. Maybe something you'd want to learn, maybe something you could put into your arsenal to use. Some of you out there play piano and watch this. Maybe it's something you could put into the keyboards. Anything you can do on a guitar, you can do on a keyboard, right? So I just want to give you something that if you heard it and said, you know what, I think I can do something with that. I think I can install this and use it. I can probably embellish it and make it better. It's all yours. Trust me, I'm eating every day. I'm good. You're welcome to it. And then you can save this video. So if anything ever were to happen with anything I helped you with, you can always refer the courts back to this video. Okay? But don't worry about it. You're not going to end up in court. I promise you. I'm certainly not going to take you there. I do this because I think it might help you, and I enjoy doing it. So, and that's enough for me. I just got my paycheck right there. Now, a lot of people on YouTube, this is a real means of support for them, and they have a way for you to contribute to them. And I think it's good if you can find a way to contribute to them, and this is an income they're trying to earn, and what they're doing is worthy of your hard-earned money, and you want to support that effort. You should. I think you should find some way to support them. If they're not asking for anything, if nothing else, leave them a comment and tell them what you know, how much you appreciate it, that kind of thing. Don't be bashful in life, folks. It's too short. It's really hard to, it's hard enough to build relationships in this life. Don't make it even harder by not engaging people. How's that? All right, there's the philosophical life lesson of the day. So let's get to Noodlin 101.3, and I'll show you this tune that I opened with. You'll notice I don't have the capo on. And I don't have it. I did in the video, but I don't on this. Now, one of the reasons I don't have it on is because many of you out there may not have a capo. We made a D up here, you saw in the video, and it turns out that's a G, okay? If you take the capo off, you got a G down here. So, good, we're down on the neck. If you want to convert this thing around, do it in the original key and not use a capo, you can figure out how you're going to do this in G. I'm not going to help you do that tonight. I'm going to do it in the same chord formation we did up here. So we're going to drop the key on it. I'm not talented enough to go through all that, so I think I could probably figure it out, but I don't want to do that on camera. So I just want to walk you through this, the whole entire thing, okay? And I'm going to make some mistakes because this thing's only a day old. I did this last night, and I had a busy day today with a lot of meetings, so I'm just now getting to this video tonight to get it done, and I want to release it tonight. It's a noodling, and I can put those out anytime, right? But I don't want to become known as the guy that's always putting videos out. The fingerstyles are coming out once a week. I've already done the next fingerstyle. I did it over the weekend, and it will release Friday. So Fingerstyle Guitar 1E will be out Friday. Beginner guitar, I think we're about lesson number 5 now. I don't have it in the pipeline yet, hadn't done it, but it won't take very long to do that video. But a lot of these videos, I try to get them done ahead of time, get them scheduled. The main reason is because, you know, if you're looking at the fingerstyle videos, you need a week to work on those if you're new to fingerstyle. If you're not new to fingerstyle, then you know, you probably just watch it and you got it down and you move on to the next thing. But if you're starting out in fingerstyle, I was talking to a friend of mine tonight, Chris Rutledge, who I talk a little bit about in Fingerstyle 1E. And I'm going to end up interviewing Chris sometime in May. And so you can be looking for that interview. He's got a pretty rich history with as a professional musician and a studio musician, both. So that's going to be a very good interview, I think. And Chris has been pretty well connected up over the years. For those of you out there that know who Eric Gales is, Chris spent some time, he and Eric, together in the early days playing. And Eric Gales is one of the better blues guitarists out there in my mind. I think that guy's a pretty amazing guitarist and pretty talented guy. If you don't know who he is, it's Eric Gales, Gales. You can look him up on YouTube. He's quite the blues player. He's in Memphis as well, where Chris is from. So, or from that area. So we'll walk through this. Anyway, you can look forward to that interview coming up. And as you'll take note if you go to that Fingerstyle 1E on Friday, when it gets released, Chris is closer to me than a brother. So we've known each other for quite a number of years now, and we talk pretty much every day. So we're pretty tight. Now, let's walk through this tune, and I'm going to walk through it, make a lot of mistakes. Like I said, just came up with it last night. So if you feel like you can use this, use it. That's what it's here for. If I throw something out, Noodlin, anything I put out there, if it came out of me, it's yours. What's mine is yours. You can't have my guitars though. I'm sorry. I love my guitars. Sometime I'll turn my camera around so you can see. I love my guitars. All right, so let's get with this. So this song is intended. These noodling things are very mood oriented. So while in life you don't make decisions based off your emotions, you shouldn't. All the way from marriage to buying a vehicle. When it comes to music, that's kind of what it's all about. So whatever I'm working on at the time, just noodling around, it's pretty much a mood thing. So last night, it was an interesting day yesterday, so I was sitting down with my guitar, and this just kind of came out, okay? So this is going to be in the key of D, okay? But I'll let you watch me do it, and I'm going to mess it up, but just bear with me. You'll know where the mess ups are, all right? I'm not going to cut the video over it, especially since it's brand new. I'm sure you guys can be pretty forgiving. All right. Now that tune can go on for quite a long while, or you can even throw some other things into it. It took me forever to find this chord. Not that I didn't know this chord, but how I could fit it in there, because it just didn't seem right to keep maneuvering around that G chord, but it sounded best to me. So some of you probably have other chords you could throw in there and make this tremendously better. That's what these are for. I'm not on here to show you how good I am on a guitar. You should know that by now. You should know that by now. I'm not good on a guitar. But I don't care what you do in life. You might have a skill set that could be a little better than somebody else's, and you could help them, right? So I'm counting on the folks that can't play guitar, right? Because I'm just a step above can't play the guitar, right? I'm not here, and I don't think I'm on the floor, but I'm not far up off the floor when it comes to playing. I'm nobody's fool. I know that. All right. So we're going to walk through this slowly. I'm going to show you what I'm doing one time, and then we'll move on. But this guitar, this Excelente, this Epiphone Excelente, I've done a review on this guitar. I meant every single word of it. But I can't see myself playing super fast tunes on this guitar. Every time I go to do that, this guitar is telling me stop. It's kind of it's more mellow. It's more, I don't want to get all artsy on you because that's not me, but I want to do something a little slower and a little more meaningful when I'm playing this guitar. Okay? Do you have guitars like anybody out there have more than one guitar? And you can probably relate to what I'm talking about. I've got a row of guitars over here and another one coming Friday. Okay? I got a problem, but shh, don't tell anybody. My wife is in the other room, and I don't want to hear. That way, if she's not home, I can get this guitar, bring it in here, okay? And then when she goes, where'd that come from? I go, that old thing? Anyway, I got another one showing up Friday, but they all have, there's some of them I can play some pretty common music on. But it's interesting because the Epiphone Hummingbird, inspired by Gibson, kind of fits this category, but I feel like I should do a little more than just that. The Martins, another kind of music, the one I had built from Robert Snyder up 12th Root. It's a very versatile guitar. So I have a range that I like to do on it. It's not that you can't play any kind of music on any guitar. I'm not trying to tell you that. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you that some of these fit a better genre, I guess, maybe, or something like that. I don't know how to explain it. If you play guitar, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Let me be quiet now. Get back off on getting into another discussion, right? All right, so let me show you how I'm doing this. It's D. Lift up your middle finger, which it should be on the number 1 string, number 2 fret. Pick up your D bass note, which is your number 4, and do a hammer on. Now, the only thing with this song is if you want to do it the way I do it, there's a pause after you hit that number 2 string with your middle finger. There's a pause. Then you pick up that number 3 string. Don't you need to pause every once in a while in your life? Maybe that's what that's about. Now, in the G chord, you can plainly see I'm right here on the number 3 fret, number 2 string. I'm not even touching this number 1 string, okay? So I'm making my G, what I call the user-friendly G. This finger's not on the fretboard, but he's close by, so he's not on the fretboard, okay? So all I'm doing here is no hammer on, just I use my middle finger and pinch at that number 2 string while my middle finger's on the 3rd fret. And my forefinger will pick up the number 3 string and the number 4 string. There's a pause again between 3 and 4. Okay? Okay? Then we went to the A chord, and we'll string all this together in a minute, but you heard it a minute ago. Unless I cut it out of the video and decided to do it afterwards, and I might just do that because I think I made way too many mistakes in it. I make an A chord, and I do my A like this for this song instead of like this because I can lift up and down with that, but this is more user-friendly for it. It's kind of like James Taylor's Fire and Rain song. I have to make my A like that when I do that tune. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch the number 2 string and the number 5 bass note. Okay. Okay. Now I want you to hear this. So 1. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Now you can bring that bass note when you want to, but I like to at least skip 1 or 2 of when the bass note would normally be struck if you were doing it consistently. Just to give it that, once again, that pause. I mean, because once you start hitting that bass note, that's what everybody's ears perks up, right? Okay? You just want to bring it in. Okay? That's all you want to do. If I think about it, I can't do it. Now you're going to be consistently hitting the bass note. Okay? You hear it? There's a pause in there. And you need that pause. To me, that's music communicates. You know, we might not always think of it like that, but if you're playing an instrument, I'm talking to people who play music, right? So we're communicating something. So even if you're not singing, if you're playing, you're communicating something. And that's what you want to do. You want to communicate that message through a tune. Somebody else may be singing while you're playing. But how many times have you heard somebody playing something and you heard something in the background, either on the keyboards, the bass, the guitar, you heard something that really caught your ear. It just kind of enhanced everything. That's kind of what we want to do here. We want to provide something a little unexpected. And to me, that pause is a little unexpected at first. Now, most people wouldn't go, oh, they had a pause in there. No, they wouldn't. But it makes the song, in my opinion. Then you go back to G, and you make your G chord, but not number 1 string, the way we showed. You see, it goes. Comes out of A, so it goes. Notice it's open, and then we lay the little finger down. Now, let's do this again. I got close that time, right? I told you I just noodled this up last night, so let's go back to that G. Open G. A. Not doing anything there, just got your A chord. You're hitting that number 2 string. Then you go to your number 1 string. that's when you go to this F sharp 7. If you can get that little hammer on right there with that F sharp 7. So that F sharp 7, you're just with number 3, with your number 3 string, which is where your middle finger is. You're just pinching that string open with your middle finger up, pinching your bass note, your top bass note, your F sharp. Number 1, number 2. While you're maintaining your bass, right? Now, in order to get my head wrapped around this, I got to play it a little bit. So, and I'm going to slow it down. As I mentioned in a text box earlier, this song really should be slower. So that F sharp is the only one you really need to, I need to focus on at the moment. We've walked through the others and how to do that, and you can plainly hear it in the music. So if you can play a guitar, this should be pretty easy for you. Okay, so let's do the whole thing, okay? Okay. You know, like we talked about, music sets a mood. Music has an impact. I've heard some music brings folks to tears. Some music brings folks to laughter. So, there's a little bit of power in playing music. And I did produce some music back when I had my studio. Now, I'm not much of a guitar player. I've proven it time and time again with you folks. But I have a pretty good ear for listening to where things, the subtleties in the music. You know what I mean? So I was a stickler about doing where some of these pauses should be, where a note might be missing that would be proper in that place, or any of those things. I spent hours and hours and hours in the control room. My wife will tell you, sometimes I stayed up all night and then went to work the next day. And this was back when I was working for a company where I probably didn't need to be staying up all night. It was not conducive to living a long life, but here I am, Lord has a plan, right? So, but I would stay up all night and just mix music. And, one of the very first things I learned was if you're in a control room mixing music, you got to walk away from it about every 10 minutes. And you need to take twice as long before you come back to it, because your ears will deceive you. So if you want to mix something really, really well, don't sit in front of a couple of really good studio monitors, which I happen to have had. By the way, it's the only thing I took with me out of the studio days was those monitors. I still have them here. And when I crank them up in the garage, my wife's vehicle starts bouncing. Those things are powerful. And but I was good with listening to the subtleties and those kinds of things. I think if I don't normally say I'm good at anything, but I think I was pretty good at that. I only actually produced one album throughout that whole thing. Most of mine was bands coming in and doing demo tapes. But there was a young lady that came in and wanted an album done, and we sat down and produced it. And I was looking for it when we moved into this house after we had it built, and I couldn't find it anywhere in any of those plastic tubs. I don't know what happened to it, but a lot of work went into that. And I had if you looked at any of the photographs I've put up that's floated around, you'll notice that control board I had for that recording studio wasn't anything to be laughed at. It was very, very, very good quality control board, and I learned a lot doing that. And I learned most of those things through a wealth of mistakes, right? Because I had a friend of mine that owned Audio Dallas back then, and I'll never forget him as long as I live. But he was a nice guy. We worked together at one time years ago, and I learned the hard way. I thought you bought a control board and you got all the equipment that you needed, and you were good to go. Now I had to blow a few channels out and make a lot of mistakes on that thing before I figured out the hard way and the expensive way of mixing music. But so when I'm doing something like this, just that little subtlety of you need to let the music have a little time to think. That's what begins to soak into the folks that are enjoying it. After all, that's really one of the reasons why we play music, isn't it? We want somebody else to enjoy it. Of course, we enjoy it. I think I'd play guitar whether anybody was listening or not. I did for a long time. I wouldn't, and I still to this day, you will hardly catch me playing with anybody or in front of anybody anymore, other than I'm sitting here on YouTube, right? And saying something like that. But Chris will tell you, I don't like picking a guitar up in a crowd anymore. I don't know why I don't, but I don't. But that is part of the enjoyment, is for somebody else to benefit from it, right? So I just choose for that benefit to be, if I can help you with something, I can help you with something, as opposed to trying to entertain you. I entertain you with my sense of humor. Hopefully it makes you smile, It got me married, right? So she thought I was funny back then. Of course, she's heard all my jokes now, and it's another reason I got on YouTube. I thought maybe I could find another crowd that hadn't heard them. But anyway, no, it's all good stuff. But those subtleties, they matter. Don't think they don't. They matter. I can speak on that topic. They matter, okay? Like I said, not the best guitar player by a long shot, but I do know what helps a song be successful, can help it get a little more successful. Now, I told you before, I measure success these days differently than I used to. By successful, I don't mean somebody made a lot of money off of it. I mean they did it and it touched another human being somehow. Okay? There you go. All right? get the idea. Anyway, Noodlin 101.3. Pull out of there what you can use or can't use or don't care about, and you just show it up for entertainment purposes. I'm afraid I'm not much of an entertainer. But I thought it was kind of a calming, relaxing little tune. If you feel like you can do something with it, where you just have a field day. And but it calmed me down last night, so I thought I'd share it with you. Okay? All right. Well, listen, it's good to see everybody. I hope you look forward to this interview coming up in May with Chris Rutledge. And if you've, some of you out there may have heard of Chris before. He's certainly been on a few record albums. But anyway, we'll have him in and we'll sit down. I've already, between he and I, we've already worked up quite a few things that we're going to talk about and just have a good time. And we'll talk a little bit about guitars and construction of guitars. Not boringly so, but enough to, things to be thinking about and why these instruments matter, what instruments, which instruments you get, those kinds of things. Things maybe to look for. It's not going to be a buyer's guide. If you want that, you go to Jeremy the Guitar Hunter. That guy knows his stuff when it comes to guitars. But I think I know enough about guitar construction at this point to maybe provide a little bit of guidance when it comes to value for the money. Okay. But anyway, we'll catch up to you then. Look forward to Friday's release, Fingerstyle Guitar number 1E. And now that doesn't wrap the session up. I thought it was going to. We're going to have to do an F, but we'll wrap it up in the F. I'd rather take small chunks out of anything, right? So let me see what I can edit in this video and get you something productive out the door, and we'll see where we're at. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for joining. I look forward to these. I really do. You have no idea. I haven't had this much fun since I had that small recording studio. It's nice to be back doing something as it relates to music, whatever little bit of contribution that may happen to be. But it's because of folks like you, and I'm very grateful and very thankful that you're here. And I appreciate you showing up, and anything I can help you with, I certainly would be more than willing to. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. God bless. We'll see you next time.